What's up, fam? Welcome back to the frequency. We're talking about darkness today. Uh-oh. Death. Misery. Suffering. The vast abyss. Let me get my light set up, and we're going to go into it. Ultimately, this talk is on Stoicism and perspective, and is absolutely life-changing. So stay tuned. My friends, the further you can see into darkness, the further you can see into light, the more darkness, pain, grief, suffering, and just shit you go through, that allows for the highest states of bliss. Your lowest lows allow for the highest highs. The tree must grow roots deep into the ground to allow for the leaves to touch the heavens, right? There's no tall tree without very deep roots. Roots into hell and leaves into heaven. My friends, what am I saying here? We must be aware of the darkness, not avoid the darkness, but in fact look into it. This is gonna sound very crazy to people. I'm gonna blow some minds. By the end of this video, you should see why this is very, very important. Things like meditating on death. Things like looking, a lot of like spiritual folk and stuff have such a solid belief that, like spirit lives on, I just go take on their body after I die. Meditating on what if that's wrong, right? You see? And that's just like one small thing. What I really want to talk about is his daily meditations I've been doing on darkness, on grief, on suffering in the world. The things most people don't look at. Everyone feels like shit and notice and sees the suffering, but they don't want to think about it. They don't want to think about death. They lock into a little box in the back of their minds, and this is detrimental to life, your experience, reality, your future in every part. Why is this? Because perspective, my friends, is everything. Perspective manifests what you do, how you feel, how you act, the people you bring around, the life you manifest, everything. If you have a materialist perspective on life, you're only going to look at things for the material value. You're going to be a consumerist. You're going to be all about you, how you feel, and acquiring things instead of giving love, instead of creating real connection and experiencing life in the fullest. Because what you think is important, what you think is success, is based off a materialist perspective. You're on a mountaintop that is actually underground, my friends. We gotta get up. My man Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic, the philosopher king, my homie G. He, in his meditations, he talked about the importance of meditating on death. This is very weird to most people. But if you don't meditate on death, you're going to live life for all the wrong reasons. You must meditate on death so you can see what this present moment is actually worth. What your time is worth, what you're here to do. If you don't have that in perspective, you're fucked. You are a spiritual being, pure consciousness, driving an avatar, right? But if you let that avatar believe that it's the body or that it's not going to die or anything like this, you're going to think about how detrimental this is. This is like playing a video game, like Call of Duty, and forgetting that the game ends. So all of a sudden you're just gonna be like shooting birds and stuff. Like that. This is a kind of weird example that just came to mind, but you're not gonna be focused on the objective. You're not gonna be focused on your purpose, your path, and living the good life. More and more can be said. I just want to get into some more practical applications of meditation on the darkness and looking into the vast abyss. If you want to exponentially increase your happiness, exponentially change how you feel during the day, how you how you work, right? How you enjoy a simple conversation and this moment, each breath the breath. You have to meditate and see the perspective that it could be. Think about prisoners in the gulags back in the Soviet Union, my friends. Hell, absolute hell, these prison death camps. Yet some inmates attain such a state of bliss, peace, where nothing, absolutely nothing done to them could affect their inner peace and tranquility. How is this possible, my friends? And if they could do that, if they could go through all that shit, these few things that you stress about, that you worry about, are nothing. If you have trouble working on whatever it is, either for a job and money and supporting your family, or on your purpose and your passion, on your craft. If you're avoiding this, if you suffer from laziness, you got to think about, shit, man, there's kids in sweatshops right now. Think about their life. Imagine their life, right? Look into the darkness. Look into the suffering they experience. This shit's pretty good. Okay, we've all heard that before, right? Okay, I didn't like where that conversation led, kind of this too many tangents. Anyway, let's jump back into this, straight to just like the perspectives and meditations I've been doing that have really helped me, and just kind of focusing on the meditation of death and Stoicism. Go check out my Instagram and definitely follow me over there, because I'm going to start posting like journal entries, notebooks, and just like I'm going to start using that story and stuff. So much nicer way for us to connect a little more personally. Anyway, getting into it. Oops. In the mornings, you should wake up. Okay, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just stating like what I believe. Do whatever the hell you want to, but this helps. In the mornings, like definitely, like before doing anything else, before checking notifications, thinking about anything, go outside, appreciate, right? Like I love to feel the sun when I step outside and breathe deep. That first, liter of water after you wake up. The quality of the light and clarity of thought, so beautiful. Like I came outside this morning and this kid was running across the grass, like fully here, fully playing. And it was amazing. And it just made me smile. And then that just kind of reminded me of, dang, I'm still a little kid too. I'm going to be like that. So I just kept smiling for a while. And I felt really good. And this sense has been increasing since I've been looking into darkness every day. And darkness is not darkness, my friends. Darkness is still light, okay? It is just light that is harder to perceive. It is all one, okay? In this duality thing, like shit, I don't need to get into all this. But for this video, looking into darkness and meditating on death and that perspective is very important in increasing the present moment, which I already touched on. But just thinking that, this life, like, it's a game. This shit's a game. Literally a game. And if you don't know that, you're screwed. Furthermore, if you have not integrated the darkness, this is what I really want to get into. Integration of the darkness and the light into the being. If you have not integrated, the amount of darkness you've integrated into you is the amount of light you can integrate into you. For instance, if you were a heroin addict for 5 years, right? And you overcame that. And you can look back and openly perceive that, right? it was once clouded with a lot of guilt, shame, hatred, regret, right? And you have slowly changed your perspective and integrated that into you as a part of your path, because you see that as the low of the lows that made you strong, getting through that, right? And seeing it as just as beautiful, which is a crazy thing to think about. But if you ever listen to the song Painful Skies, like, overcoming the most dangerous drug in the world is what changed his life, right? Has made his life. Anyway, integration of the darkness, integration of and awareness that you will die, that this body is not permanent, right? But what is? You see, what is permanent? What should we live for? And that, my friends, is the major key. What are you living for? What do you see as important changes when you integrate darkness? When you integrate the fact that, this shit's a game. You are literally here to increase in wisdom, to grow, and as a soul, as a spirit. Nothing of the body, nothing of the physical matters. You got a damn life jacket because you're walking with the Most High and aligned with truth. Shit, you don't need to even, the physical world is, like, when I look, the physical part of things is such a small factor for me. It's barely, I don't even care about it. The crazy thing is that's all people live for. They watch a sunset and they don't even see it. They can't see it. They look at it. They go to Stonehenge and they listen to the guided tour talking about the stones and the people who moved them there, and just like the quality of the rock. Oh, that's interesting. I'm tapped into the feeling of it. I'm walking with the ancestors, connecting into that deep, sacred place, right? You see what I mean here? So, let's keep getting off topic, but anyway, meditate on death. Understand and shift your perspective of this moment, what this day means, and what is truly valuable. When you look back at yesterday, the day before that, the year before that, what was valuable about it? What do you still bring with you? Was it the car you were driving? Was it all the materialist shit? Or was it that night of deep connection, drinking wine with that girl that before she left for Europe? Or was it when you made your mom cry with happiness? Or was it the wisdom that you increased, the light and darkness you integrated, and the development of yourself, spirit, and purpose here? Those things you bring with you. Wisdom, truth, love, right? Completion. You are becoming more whole, more complete, and that is the key, you see. When shit goes wrong in your life, if you have integrated the darkness, if you've integrated a perspective of death, nothing in this world can faze you. It can't. You see it from such a higher plane that shit don't matter. You no longer fear. You no longer hold the anxiety that hoping you're doing things right. Hoping that, like, all this shit goes well. Worrying about, like, all your material possessions, right? Worrying about success in this material world, goals and fame and this kind of shit. Nah, you're above all that. You have transcended that because you have integrated darkness. And what happens when you can do that is you exist in a state of peace and tranquility exponentially greater than those without. You exist on a plane where when I have conversations with people, I bring so much more energy to the table because that conversation is so much more meaningful to me, because I spend so much time alone. When I interact with people, I can bring so much more love to the table, right? And enjoy that interaction far greater. Because I have A, spent the time alone looking into the darkness, and B, I realize how special it is. Right? So that's just kind of a talk on perspective, darkness and light, and integration and completion. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, just some ideas for you. Drop any comments, please, and like what you think about this. And if you want to know more about Stoicism, perspective, perception, that shit I can talk about all day. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me see if I have any extra notes for you. Next time you're feeling nervous, anxious, or out of control, my friends, remember that you cannot force anything in this life. It is all happening for a reason. And the only thing you can control is what path you're walking on. They're all leading to the same destination, and some are just a shit hell to get there. You just gotta let go and let life flow through you. And see the darkness for what it is. See this shit for what it is. And then all of a sudden you're gonna notice that what you thought was dark, depressing, scary, is in fact nothing at all. Just illusions in the Maya. Peace out.